The red and blue lights flickered across my quiet ranch, spilling uneasy color over the fields. That Saturday evening, 3 patrol cars rolled slowly up my gravel driveway. Their sirens were off, but their presence spoke loudly enough. I set my coffee mug down on the porch railing and stepped toward them, my boots crunching along the stone path. The lead officer approached, his hand resting casually, yet deliberately, on his utility belt, not quite on his weapon, but close enough to make a point. "Sir, we received a 911 call reporting suspicious activity and possible trespassing on this property," he said in an even tone. "We'll need to see some identification." I moved carefully, keeping my hands visible as I reached for my wallet. "Officer, my name is Marcus Chun. I own this ranch. Mind telling me who made the call?" He glanced down at a small notepad. Caller identified herself as Karen Whitfield, president of the Willowbrook HOA. She claims an unauthorized individual is occupying the property and refusing to leave. A faint smile pulled at the corner of my mouth. Karen Whitfield. Of course. I knew exactly who she was, even if she had no idea who I really was. This was about to get interesting. "Officer," I said calmly, "I purchased this ranch 6 months ago. I've got all the paperwork inside if you'd like to verify ownership." I handed over my driver's license. "And just so we're clear, this property sits about half a mile outside Willowbrook HOA boundaries." 2 weeks earlier, I'd had my first encounter with Karen. My peaceful Sunday morning had been shattered by a sharp, aggressive knock at the front door. When I opened it, there she stood, a woman in her early 50s, dressed in a fitted blazer despite the warm sun, gripping a clipboard like it was a weapon. Her highlighted hair was styled in that unmistakable, "I demand to speak to your manager" fashion. "I'm Karen Whitfield, president of the Willowbrook Homeowners Association," she announced before I could even say hello. "We need to discuss your violations." Leaning casually against the doorframe, I frowned. "Violations? There's got to be a mistake. This property isn't part of any HOA." Her eyes narrowed behind designer glasses. "That's where you're wrong. The Willowbrook HOA has expanded its jurisdiction to include all properties within a 1-mile radius of our borders. You'll need to register immediately and bring your property up to code." I kept my tone patient. "That's not how HOAs work, ma'am. You can't just extend your authority over properties that were never part of the development." She shoved a thick stack of papers toward me. "These are your violation notices. Your fence is the wrong color. You have unauthorized livestock. And that barn, don't even get me started on that barn. You have 30 days to comply or face fines." I didn't take the papers. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This is private property, and you don't have any authority here." Her face flushed a deep red. "We'll see about that. I know people, important people. You'll be hearing from our lawyers." After she stormed off, I did what any cautious property owner would do. I installed security cameras everywhere. High definition, night vision, audio recording, the works. Something told me I'd need evidence. I was right. The harassment started almost immediately. Fake violation notices showed up on my gate every day, each one more ridiculous than the last. My mailbox filled with bogus HOA letters threatening thousands and fines. Then she grew bolder. One morning, I caught her inside my property line, snapping photos of my horses. "Ma'am, you're trespassing." I called out, making sure the cameras captured everything. "Please leave immediately." She turned to me with a triumphant smile. "These horses aren't registered with the HOA Livestock Committee. That's a $500 fine per animal per day." I exhaled slowly, keeping my voice steady. "There is no HOA Livestock Committee with authority here. You need to leave now or I'll call the police." "Go ahead," she sneered. "Sheriff Thompson is my brother-in-law. Let's see how that works out for you." But I didn't call, not yet. Instead, I documented everything. Half an hour later, Janet's car pulled up to the gate, Richard close behind. To my surprise, Karen was with them. They'd picked her up under the pretense of an urgent HOA meeting. The moment she saw the patrol cars, confusion crossed her face, quickly giving way to dread. And when her eyes landed on me standing beside the officers, her indignation flared. "What is going on here?" she demanded, her voice trembling with outrage. Why am I being brought to this violator's property? Janet stepped forward, her expression cold as steel. Ms. Whitfield, are you aware that Mr. Chun is the senior vice president of Pinnacle Property Group? The color drained from Karen's face instantly. That's impossible, she stammered. He's just some guy who bought a ranch. A ranch, Richard cut in sharply. That's as completely outside HOA jurisdiction. Yet you've been harassing him, trespassing on his property, and now you filed a false police report. Do you understand how serious this is? Karen's voice shook as she tried to recover. I was just doing my job. The HOA board voted to expand our authority. I have documentation. No, you don't, Janet interrupted coldly. I've already spoken with the other board members. There was no vote. You acted entirely on your own, abusing your position to intimidate property owners. This ends now. The lead officer stepped forward. Ms. Whitfield, filing a false police report is a misdemeanor offense. You knowingly reported a fake emergency, wasting law enforcement resources. I'm citing you for false reporting and harassment. This is ridiculous, Karen sputtered. I know people. My brother-in-law is a sheriff. Former sheriff. The officer corrected evenly. He retired 3 years ago. Ma'am, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine for the false report alone, not including any civil penalties Mr. Chin may pursue. Richard stepped closer. Ms. Whitfield, effective immediately, you are terminated from your position on the Willowbrook HOA board. Pinnacle Property Group is severing all ties with you. You will also be personally liable for any legal fees incurred by Mr. Chan and the company. You can't do this, Karen cried, her voice rising. I've been HOA president for 8 years. The neighborhood needs me. The neighborhood, Janet replied firmly, needs someone who follows the law. Security will be at your home tomorrow to collect all HOA property. Computers, files, keys, everything. If you attempt to access any HOA systems after today, you'll face additional charges. The reality hit her hard. Her shoulders sagged, and the confidence she clung to vanished. The clipboard slipped from her hands and hit the ground with a dull thud. But I was just trying to maintain standards, she said weakly.